Welcome back to DONSLIFE, welcome to the channel. I'm sitting here in my truck waiting at the airport here in Saskatoon to pick up one of my sponsors, KUAT. Maybe they're checking up on me. Let's go. Our friend Craig from KUAT picked the wrong day to come to Saskatoon. It is minus 40 Fahrenheit with the wind chill. He is in for a surprise when he steps out of the airport. I just got the message, he's landed. We'll go pick him up at the doors. We'll head for breakfast. And then I think we're gonna go back to my place, DONSLIFE Garage, have a closer look at the truck inside where it's heated, and we'll get his honest opinion of what he thinks.
How's it going?
Welcome, you can throw stuff in the back seat
okay.
if you want.
Sure.
You picked a great day to come visit. Well, welcome to Saskatoon.
Yeah. There's not a lot, when you're flying over here.
Okay, so we're back at the DONSLIFE Garage. We got Craig from KUAT. Hey, Craig.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how's breakfast?
Delicious, I'm stuffed. Had the omelet, had the fries poutine style. You know, when in Rome or when in Canada.
And hot sauce, you put hot sauce on.
Yes. Love Cholula hot sauce.
Craig, I really appreciate you coming to Saskatoon just to see me and check up on your KUAT rack, the IBEX system sitting on my GMC Sierra.
Yep, made a special trip, so.
Joking aside, I know you're in the city for other business, but I wouldn't mind your honest opinion, maybe a bit of a walk around, and just let me know what you think, not only of the rack and some of the lighting, because I have some stuff I wanted to talk about the lighting and cable management with you, but then just the truck in general.
Yeah.
And you can be harsh. If there's something you don't like, I'd love to learn about it.
No, it looks good. It's first off, appreciate you for having me out here. I think it's really special to see the compatibility between retractable tonneau covers and bed rack systems. Being able to showcase that you don't have to give up one or the other to have those is really cool.
So you're specifically talking about the EGR roll track, whether it's electric or not. Mine happens to be electric. The fact that I didn't have to give up one to have the other.
Right. I love seeing the full-size trucks, especially with the IBEX running at full height. I think it just aesthetically really makes the lines of the truck, specifically this truck, this GMC. The fact that you can, like I mentioned, you still get your tonneau cover, you can still get options for mounting. I love that you have the shovel here, you're running both of the full-size Mole panels. You're running 3 crossbars, which I think is awesome because, for your setup, you're able to have kind of your chase lights in a fixed position and then another rung to be able to put more weight on the rack. I love what you've done with the cable management. I think that's, it's
yeah, let's talk about it.
There's a lot of wires, but they're so well hidden and compartmentalized on this. So I think that's first and foremost. I see all the lights, but then you don't see any of the wires that accompany the lights.
Right, I'll grab a stool here and I'll let you just stand up there, but if you look on top, I don't know if you can see, I put these little plates and they just hold that pipe to run the lighting through.
And you don't even know that's, that's there unless you're from this top-down view.
Right, so that was going to be something I wanted to suggest. If there was a product to be developed down the road, I was thinking, hey, if you put something like this for cable management that's outside of the T-channel system, then it allows you to, because one of the benefits of the product I noticed right away was the accessibility of the T-channels. But once you stuff a wire in there, it's gone.
Yep.
So if there was a way to consider putting those in different areas, now I understand you have a panel system where it would go below here, but I think the sides give you some great real estate too, because we got that pipe there. And I've used some standoffs to actually keep it floating away from the IBEX cage or the frame.
Yeah, that looks really well. And then you're not blocking the T-channels.
Right, so the T-channels are accessible if I really needed to get to them. But then we have the ability to run wires front to back on either side really if we wanted. And you don't notice ugly wires everywhere.
I love these grab handles. I love the full height. You have the option for accessories, for future accessories. This cable management is the best I've ever seen on the IBEX. So.
Okay, so might be onto something?
I think you're onto something. I think as the IBEX system continues to grow and different industries and professions utilize this rack for not just overland recreation, I think that's when we'll really see more effort and more innovations when it comes to just utilizing the T-channels to keep however you're building it out clean and tidy.
I think that's important to a lot of people, is to look as stock as possible. I mean, I think that's one of the benefits of my truck. As you start to go around and look at it, the mods that I've done are with intent, that even the cable management and the fit and finish wasn't an afterthought. It was kind of planned from the beginning, which is one of the reasons why I was attracted to the styling of the KUAT bed rack versus some of the other brands that I saw at SEMA, which pretty much every brand was represented. Not to say there's anything wrong with those brands, but for what I was looking for specifically, I felt this was super compatible with that.
The industrial design that KUAT put forth in the product really does shine even further in this category, because it's always surrounded on trucks. It does a great job about really matching the lines.
I agree. Let's take a look with the bed open.
Yeah, so this is great, showcasing how the brackets right here attach the IBEX to the EGR roll track, so you can have your whole bed open for hauling and everyday jobs. That's really neat.
When it comes to mounting things so they're not flying around in the box or above the box, I think I'm covered.
Yeah, I think you've got some storage options.
Yes, I do. So I know that KUAT has its roots in bicycles and accessories. So we could always look at outfitting the side with the bicycle attachments. I have an e-bike. It's not in here right now. I took it to my other shed, but it's heavy. So you guys have hitch mounts too?
We do. Hitch mount goes in here. We have a few different SKUs that can hold a range from kids' bikes up to the heavy e-bikes.
Okay, so you've given me your thoughts. Are you ready for some of mine?
Love your thoughts. You've been up here in Saskatoon with the rack, probably one of the first, if only, IBEXs up here. You might utilize.
Definitely on an EGR.
Definitely on an EGR. So yeah, I would love to know feedback, little nuances that you're coming to find.
Thank you, first of all. I don't have a well thought out list or anything, but we've already highlighted cable management. I think that would be my number one ask, is if future developments or considerations for product attachments. I think that's a good place to be, because every overlanding rack that I've seen, at least the majority of them, they may have like a tray that goes front to back that wires lay in. But most people are cable tying and zip tying as creatively as possible to house this stuff. Obviously I went with some black plastic piping. I've tried to get around corners as best I can, but you can see it's not perfect based on what I'm showing on the camera here. So if there were ways to chase wires and conceal them better, that would be my number one ask. I haven't had this at mid-height yet, so I'd like to try that out down the road, but I'd probably want to get the shorter MOLLE panels to fill the gap. I prefer the filled look as opposed to completely wide open. So that's why when we talked, I thought the full MOLLE panels would look best.
Fits well with the retractable tonneau.
I think so. What I do like though is, because I have the electric retractable tonneau, and when the tailgate is up, all of this is locked and secure, the likelihood of anybody climbing up here and messing around with trying to steal this stuff is mitigated quite a bit. I would like, and I am shopping for, a net to put across here. I know it won't really serve any purpose other than if I put light cargo on the box. This holds 300 pounds. But if I put stuff on here, I can strap it down and also have a net here to help, one, aesthetically close it off a little bit and make it match the MOLLE panels. But then I think it gives it a little bit of a Baja look, which I don't think is bad.
Not at all. You've got some spots here. Of course, there's T-channels available to functionally attach that.
So I think we're good there. Oh, that's one other thing. So I wanted to ask you more of a technical question. Now, I do know that during the installation, they recommend in a number of sections to use some thread locker. Is there any reason why lock washers aren't provided as an option?
I think when there's different materials and we're trying to get bolt head spacing as minimal as possible, that's a way to achieve the bolt from rattling out without pushing the bolt head out, with keeping it as low pro and as flush as possible. Okay, that makes sense. But if we can walk that way for a sec, I'll just show you something I picked up. So I think if we added to your accessory assortment like a container of bolts of various lengths, because I picked that up. I just ordered something generic online, but I had one bolt
rattle its way out, and I didn't have a replacement of the same length. So I was able to pick some up. So I think that would be, you know, maybe a good thing.
And that's good too, to touch on that the hardware is not proprietary.
Right.
So if something does happen, this system can be put back or upkept in the interim. And then of course, if it's something further, definitely contact KUAT. But yeah, we try to not use anything proprietary.
I want to be fair though. I'm not like, I'm not, you know, trying to like catch you off guard. It was my fault that it rattled loose because I did not use thread locker on that bolt.
Thread locker is good.
It was because I was in transition from deciding what I was going to do with these rails, and it actually came out of one of these rails. And then I noticed after a trip to Minot, North Dakota, that I was missing that bolt right there. And I have some longer ones for some parts that I didn't install, but you know, it wouldn't secure anything. So
nope, it's definitely important and needed.
I talked to you off camera about, you know, just various mounts and things. I know that you have some like for the shovel. You have obviously larger mount contraptions for like skis and snowboards, and we talked about bicycles a little bit, but I think it'd be neat if you made a MaxTrax compatible recovery board, you know, pins. Well, this here actually has a long shaft that I don't like, but if you had a short shaft with something like that, people would do it.
And like you were saying, if you're using this cover as a storage spot, because it can, you don't want your cargo buttoning up against those sticking out.
Yeah, so it's what I'm living with for now, but that would be one. And again, this is not a KUAT designed accessory. And then I guess any other accessories for, you know, roto packs and stuff like that.
And those should be, as KUAT continues to design and innovate in this truck accessory space, we will continue to release accessories, not just for overlanding, not just for recreation, but just general jobber inspired accessories, which I think is awesome that this system is conducive to lend itself to other manufacturers creating accessories for it.
No, I agree, and I think you're in a really good place. And part of the reason why I was attracted to this style and your product was because of where it was at and how unique it is.
Yeah, you're getting some good use on these.
Yeah, but the critics out there would tell me I was doing it wrong because my tires should not have been spinning that fast to dig in. But I drove you around the city a little bit.
Yes, but you're using them.
Yes, we even went out in the Corvette C8, which
that thing is awesome. Yeah, really fun drive. I had a blast.
I'm glad you did, and you can vouch now for me that it is indeed winter driven.
It is winter driven, and it's very capable. I mean, the roads up here are, I would say, unlike other roads. They're not super smooth in the wintertime, and yeah, Corvette, it boogies.
And I think the front lift helped us half a dozen times.
Yep.
A lot of those ruts out there. Okay, great. Well, Craig, I know you have some business to attend to later in the day, so I'll let you get organized and set up for that. But I wanted to thank you for carving out some time and coming to visit the DONSLIFE garage.
Check.
Check.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me out. Appreciate it. Looking forward to more opportunities, more videos along the way.
Well, I know it's going to be a great relationship, and more to come on the KUAT IBEX system, and hopefully some more accessories.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Craig, for coming to visit. Thank you, KUAT, for your continued support. I think it's really cool that we had the company that makes the product stop by to check in with the person that's installed the product and is currently using it on their vehicle, so we could have a bit of a dialogue. I could share some feedback. They could give me some ideas on maybe what's to come. Trust me, there's gonna be more to come. But if you like these type of videos, this a little bit of behind the scenes action, then please hit that like button. Please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you next time.